everyone, and welcome to the Science Corner. Today we're going to be going through our kits for Pebbles, Sand, and Silt today. So you will need your entire kit. We're going to go through and take inventory. So scientists take inventory of all of the things that they have, so that way they know how much they have of each thing and what they can use. Inventory means to count how many supplies you have. Supplies are the items you get to use. So we're going to start by finding our list. This is the list of supplies for Pebbles, Sand, and Silt. So find that list, and then find the pencil. We're going to go through the list one at a time, and we're going to cross things off as we find them. So our first thing says Science Notebook. I'm going to find the Science Notebook. That's this yellow notebook here. If you flip it open, you're going to see that there are pages that have lines on them, and then other pages that have worksheets on them. And on the front it says Blanks Interactive Science Notebook. So write your name on that blank so that way you'll know it was yours. Okay, now it's still all yellow, but if you have crayons, you could color it in if you want. That way it'll be more interesting when you use it. I'm just going to leave mine yellow so I can find it super easy. I'm going to set it on the table so I know that whatever I have left should be on my list. Our next thing is Pebbles, Sand, and Silt book. That is this book right here. I have this same book in giant, but yours is going to be a normal size book. So go ahead and get that out and then put a check mark next to it on your list. Then we have a paper packet of resources. So that's this one right here. A paper packet of resources says Letter to Family at the top. It's all of the papers you're going to need for this whole unit. So find that and check it off. Then you have the word wall words. Those look like this. These are your word wall words. There are several pages of them. They are different words, and they are organized by which ones you'll need for each lesson. You can cut them out, you could leave them together. They're just there for your use so you know how to spell some of the words. Now we have a set of rocks with 2 pieces of dark basalt, 2 pieces of reddish scoria, 2 pieces of light colored tuff in one Ziploc bag. So I have lots of Ziploc bags full of rocks. I'm going to look for the one that has 6 rocks in it that are 3 different colors. And I found it right here. So if you can see it, I have 2 like pinkish rocks, I have 2 red rocks, and I have 2 dark gray rocks, all in a Ziploc bag. I'm going to close it up. And I'm going to check that off my list. And then I have sand, river, rock mixture, sand, gravel, small pebbles, large pebbles, all in a Ziploc bag. So this doesn't have any sand. Oh, here we go. I can see it has big rocks, little rocks, it has sand. This is your sand rock, or the river rock mixture. This one with a bunch of dirt in the bottom and then a bunch of rocks on top. I have a vial of sand. So a vial means one of these little containers. And I can see this one's full of sand. I have a set of pebbles, about 20-ish pebbles. Right here, I have my pebbles. You can see there's not really a whole lot of dirt in there. It's just mostly bigger rocks. Then you have a clay cube. I don't have a clay cube in my kit, but you should have one in yours. It'll be in a Ziploc, and it might be a cube, it might be a couple cubes in the same bag together, or it might be little shavings of it. So just look for some clay in a Ziploc. Then we're going to have a bag of clean sand. So you're going to look in your basket for a bag, and it has a label on it that says clean sand. We're going to be using this, and we're going to need to make sure it's clean sand, which is different than the sand in this bag. This bag is dirty sand, and this bag is clean sand. And we're going to learn out what that means later. So I can cross that off. Then I have a piece of granite. So you're going to look in your bin for a piece of granite. It's going to look somewhat like this. It'll be pinkish in color. It's not in a Ziploc. It'll be just inside there. and it's has a whole bunch of different colors mixed into it, and it's kind of a grainy feeling. This is granite. Then I'm going to check that off, and I have a bag of potting soil. Now I don't have a bag of potting soil, but you will have one. It'll be really, really dark colored dirt. And then I have a vial of gravel. So you're going to look for another vial, and this one's going to have bigger rock pieces in it, a vial of gravel. All right, what's next? I have a half a sheet of black paper. I have a half sheet of white paper. You might have two of these, that's fine. They were in a couple different investigations, so I just gave you both halves. I have a hand lens. There you go. Looks like a magnifying glass. I have a small loaf pan. It's aluminum. I have some cups, some plastic cups. I have a set of screen mesh. So that's going to be this right here. You should have 3 different screens inside this bag, so you can go ahead and open it up and check. You should have one where they're really far apart, one where they're medium far apart, and then one where they're super close together, because we're going to use these when we sort through our rocks. So medium, middle, and big, just like in Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Then I have 3 paper plates, so let me check and see if I have 3. 1, 2, 3. You can use any paper plates, but I gave you some just in case. Then you have 5 containers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I lost my pencil. There it is. And a pencil. I'm using that. And a metal spoon. Here's my metal spoon. I have plastic spoons. I have 1, 2 plastic spoons in case I break one. And then you gotta flip your page. On the next page it says you should have yarn. I did not get any yarn, so go ahead and cross that one off. You don't need it. You should have a straw. You need a craft stick, which is like a popsicle stick, but without the popsicle. You have 2 vials with lids that are empty, just 2 empty vials. And you have a set of sandpaper, which should have 3 different kinds of sandpaper on it. You have a dark one that's really super rough. You have a medium colored one that's rough, but it's not as big of pieces. And then you have a light colored one, which is more smooth. So just like Goldilocks again. And the last thing you need is an outdoor site. So later in the investigation, we're going to be looking outside for rocks and where we used rocks. So you're going to need an outdoor site where you can go and look where different rocks have been used. So like if they used rocks to build the wall, like they made it out of bricks, or if there are rocks in the ground because it's asphalt or concrete, or if there are rocks that were used in landscaping, like put around a tree. So just different places that you see rocks. Now that we've completed taking inventory, you're going to use your basket and you can put everything back in. So I'm going to start with my paper packet and my word wall words, with my book, and with my investigation notebook, and I'm going to stand these all up in the back. Then I'm going to get my 3 pieces of paper. I'm going to put those with it. And then I'm going to put my popsicle stick and my magnifying glass and my spoons and my straw all in the loaf pan because I think that'll be easier. And maybe I'll put my vials in there too, so they'll be easy to find. I'm going to put that in there. I have my containers, and I'm going to put my cups in the container. I have my screens, my paper plates, my sandpaper, my granite. I'm going to put in my clean sand, then my river rocks, then my pebbles. And you're going to need this set of rocks that has 6 rocks in it. You're going to need this for the first investigation. So make sure you put this one on top. You're also going to need your science notebook and your pencil. And if you look at your supplies on the next page, it's going to tell you exactly what you need for each lesson that we do. So we do the lessons in parts. So part 1, it says you're going to need your set of rocks, the black sheet of paper, the white sheet of paper, your hand lens, your word wall words, and your science notebook. I'm going to put this in behind my book so I know where it is. So that will keep track of everything you're going to need for each lesson. That way you know what to get out before you get started. So your science kits came in this nifty little basket that I bought for you. And I bought it so everything would fit inside nicely so you can see everything, but it's all contained in one little location. So that way it's easy to find. Make sure you keep everything in the basket so you don't lose it. And make sure that you're really careful not to mix your different kinds of rocks and your different items together. Because if you mix your rocks together or you mix your sand in with the rocks, it's going to be really confusing when we try to do the activities and you won't be able to do them because your rocks will be already mixed up. So make sure that you keep everything apart until I give you directions to do otherwise. I will be sending out seesaw assignments on what to use from your science kit. So take a look at those. We'll have lots of videos because we have lots of lessons. Thank you for taking inventory of your supplies with me. If you're missing anything, please let me know. See you next time.